Okay, so welcome to the team from Vancouver Island University, the degree team, all the way from Nanaimo. Is that right? Wonderful.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Before we start presentation, we would like to thank you, Judge and Peter Briscoe, and fellow students who's listening to our presentation and helping us, as well as Mr. Kevin who helped us for our mentor. And we would like to start our presentation. My name is Shiho.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Jay.
Today we will discuss about employee growth and recruitment. We divide our presentation into three parts. We're going to talk about how we're going to attract employees to Joy Restaurant, and how we're going to resources, how we're going to attract them to come, how we're going to do it, and how we're going to differentiate Joy Restaurant compared to other restaurants. So we're going to focus on two groups. One is attract people who's not in the industry right now. We're going to attract more people to come into this industry. Second one is we're going to still existing skilled employees from other business to Joy Restaurant.
So we weren't sure if you have heard about this or not, but there is a impending labor shortage coming to the hospitality program, the hospitality industry. These are some numbers that we dug up in an industry report done by the Canadian Tourism Commission, estimating the job shortages in the hospitality industry in the next about 30 years. We understand that Joey is only looking at the next 3, but it is obviously a problem that needs to be addressed. And when we received the case study, we recognized that Joey does want 600 cooks who have 1 to 2 years experience, and we do try to address that. However, we found it was a bit of a challenge because we are going to be facing quite a lack of those sorts of people. So we wanted to start by trying to attract more people into the hospitality industry and start working on training them for when your 3 years finally arrive, that you have some employees to start working on and programs in place to start developing more people to join the hospitality industry. So, next slide. The first thing that we thought would be a good place to start would be in the high schools. The Canadian Tourism Human Resource Council is already working across Canada with high schools and just themselves in high schools to encourage high school students to start working in the hospitality industry. We wanted to push that a little bit further and actually see if there could be a program offered to bring high school students into the Joey restaurants and start them working while they're in grade 12. For BC in particular, to graduate grade 12, all you really need are a bunch of credits that are choices of yours, as well as an English 12. And we were hoping to develop a program that would allow high school students to get industry experience with the Joey group while working in their kitchens and just getting a grade 12 to graduate. We did a little bit of math for you, just to show how easy it would be to start filling your labor shortage. The 24 existing Joey properties were able to get just 2 students each. For 3 years, that's 144 potential trained employees that then the Joey restaurant group can start looking to keep for the future.
Another point that they could look at would be the domestic college programs. We know schools such as VIU and VCC have culinary programs that aren't only teaching students how to cook, but they're also putting them in a work-like environment with student-run schools. So if you're going to these programs, you're already pulling out a base that does have cooking and prep experience of 1 to 2 years. Another way that you can do this is also to add small bonuses. For a student just graduating from a diploma or a degree program for a culinary school, a small bonus of even, say, a little signing bonus, a couple $100, it goes a long way for a student just starting in the industry. If you use something like this, you're really going to pull them into Joey's restaurants as opposed to just giving them a job.
So not only high school student, but also college student. But I think you guys can promote international student like me. I'm from Japan. I've never gone in Canada, but you guys can attract me. You guys can attract international students. According to following credential, immigration will account for 100% of Canada's next labor force growth in the next 25 years. So why not attract us to let us join you guys? And the important thing is establish relationship with respect with international company and schools. And also we can attract professional employees. We divide it into 3 parts. School cooks. Why we gonna attract school cooks, school chef? Because they love to educate people. So why not bring them to Joy and then let them educate employees, because they already have a leadership. You don't have to give them a leadership because they already have a leadership. So they can contribute to Joy Restaurant, and also we can still exist in professional and cooks from industry, because sometimes they struggle and they have high stress from other company, but Joy can give them happy environment, positive environment. As we can see from Joy's video, I could tell that they love to work at Joy. They said they love to go to Joy, they love to work at Joy. So why maybe we can bring them from other industries. And also we can invite hospital cooks, because Joy can give them an opportunity to create a creative menu that they can't do at the hospital. Joy can give them opportunity to let them make another menu.
So one of the main points we wanted to do for resources to attract existing industry workers was to send representatives to networking events, such as industry conferences. But another point we also wanted individuals to look at was something a little bit outside of the box, which are things such as nutrition and health expositions. Chefs and cooks are interested in health, so they're going to be at these types of events. They're maybe not necessarily industry related, perhaps they're more based in the health industry than the food and beverage industry, but they will be there. If you send someone there, you're allowing yourselves to create a networking opportunity to draw another base from. Another point we wanted to look at was the issue of part-time workers. We know in food and beverage, part-time workers, very big part of the market here. Traditionally, seasonal workers, some people have seen this as a barrier. They're here for a while, they go somewhere else. Joey's could create a program or partnerships with other locations that where one high season ends, they can move to another location and have them rotating. It's more of a rehire process than a brand new hire process. We would also like to work with Joey's a little bit more on doing some cross-training. Hiring people for their attitudes, not necessarily for the position. You can take people from the front of the house who are interested in the back of the house and introduce them to that aspect of the company. You're more so pulling from internal processes, but it's still another area you can pull from. Also, casual workers. A lot of people tend to think casual workers, part-time workers as servers, hostesses, bussers, but there are a small niche of people that would be interested in being just casual part-time chefs and cooks. Those that maybe aren't necessarily looking at a full-time job, but something just to supplement themselves for. They have the talent, they want to be there. Let them come in. And of course, resources to attract these particular individuals. We know that Joey's is on places like LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. We see their presence there. Where we want to see them elsewhere is maybe more so in the employment offices within towns and cities. People will go there to look for jobs. If Joey goes there as well, they're pulling on more people that want to work with you. Also, media. Again, as I said, Joey's is on Facebook, Joey's is on LinkedIn. We know this, we see this. let's also look at more traditional areas of work. Go for the television stations, create commercials for hiring. Let them see this. Also, go back to things like journal articles. People think, oh, newspaper. Individuals don't read that. Go towards the online journals, online articles. I can guarantee you, there are still people reading. And lastly, of course, partnerships. It's not just Joey's that is facing this problem. It's the entire industry. If you're communicating with partners and you speak to them, and they have perhaps someone that isn't right in that area, but you know they'll be right for Joey's, bring them over. If you happen to find someone that isn't good for you, but is good for them, talk, communicate. You can find people.
So the last issue that we wanted to address was how Joey Restaurant Group could differentiate themselves from the other restaurants that are also going to be struggling in hiring cooks. And obviously the first thing that we wanted to address was the lower wages that cooks face in the industry, as well as the lower wages of any hospitality professional. We found the number was about 30% below average. So pushing to increase those wages would help convince people that maybe do not want to work as a cook, that maybe it's a little bit more worth their while. We also see that Joey is looking to expand aggressively, and we recommend that they use that to their advantage when hiring by showing people that there's opportunity for promotion within the company. A cook isn't going to be hired just to be a cook. If the company is looking to build many businesses within a short amount of time, they could move up very quickly and not only increase their pay grade, but as well as their job satisfaction levels. We also recommend maybe a little bit of a stronger approach to marketing the Red Seal program that Joey offers, as well as the culture that's perpetuated within the Joey restaurants, which is